I do some other stuff in this space.
I can do better than this. And then
Yeah.
I put my money where my mouth is.
And the Grease fan guy currently has Jason Rohrer sitting on his deck. What a surprise. What a surprise. Hey everyone, welcome back to the next episode of Get Your Deck Out, your weekly, often episode on the internet where we love to talk about trading card games, the competitive space, and everything it takes to make that happen. Now, no Scott with me today, but I do some other stuff in this space. And if you've been following the channel for quite some while, or you tune in, like hopefully you will tune in this coming weekend when we've got an RCQ running in Cardiff, we'd like to put on some coverage from time to time. And I'm definitely not an expert in this space, but I got in touch with someone on Twitter who is a little bit more of an expert than me. Introductions. You will do better than me. Samson, all yours. Let the people know who you are.
Hi there. My name is Samson, or Samson21 online. I am a ex-Magic the Gathering grinder/professional turned into a producer for the Canadian Magic the Gathering competitive circuit. So I do all of the coverage for all the top tier 1 events in Canada. So I fly out to Eastern Canada, Western Canada, wherever they need me to be. I go out there and I put on the show so that everyone can see high tier Magic the Gathering tournaments.
Now, if anyone is sort of like, because the majority of the people who watch this are European facing, that is like traveling from where I am in Wales on the far west of the UK all the way over to Russia at any one given time. So that's just always remember, Canada is a rather large place with a lot of spaces. So you've done some miles, to be fair, to get this coverage out there. And yeah, if you've ever seen anything to do with face-to-face, you know, they don't just do the RQs, they have their tours and their circuits. And often then commentated by a great team. As you've seen people like Mason Clark, Nigel Rivers, even Will Hall has been on there, and the coverage is fantastic and really well together. And we wanted to talk about what really this takes. People want to be able to watch, be part of the process and see everything that's going on. Why did you even get into it? Like, what was the sort of motivation?
That's a great question. I got into it kind of weirdly. So Canada didn't have any coverage for our top tier Magic events for the longest of time. So I got into it just honestly by being at an event, got knocked out day one. I was like, hey, can I just live stream the event off my phone? So I live streamed a top 8 off my phone. I got a huge feedback from just players, from judges, from event staff. And then I got invited to come back and do it for a trial run and actually do it professionally for another event in Calgary. So I drove out there, brought my whole rig, brought my whole setup, and then honestly, the rest is history from there. It really came down from a point when we were just getting out of COVID. Anu was doing his best he could to live stream all the events from his side, and I thought to myself, I can do what Anu does. Anu does a fantastic job with Turn 'em Sideways on their stuff. And I was like, I can do that to a lesser extent, not to what he does, but I think I can pull off a half decent job. And from there, I've just done my best to put off the best quality product that I can.
I love how a lot of people I speak to like who get interested in this, because there's a very similar origin story for me there on Anurag, sort of giving me sort of the inspiration, shall we say, to sort of like how to approach this, what to approach this. And yeah, that's the gold standard for me, somewhere I'd love to be and love to get to. And but obviously I think, yeah, any coverage is always better than no coverage. But then seeing
100%.
some kind of care and attention to at least make the bit that you are delivering really good is sort of what I love to see. You see different things. I scroll through the different levels of Twitch sometimes and I'll see another person who's just sort of like streaming their testing or they're streaming their locals, and it's just like, yeah, like start somewhere, build it up, and you know, these events which happen, and then obviously coverage and the buzz that comes with it, you can then be part of the build and the growth. And yes, it doesn't come cheap, I'm aware of, and doesn't come without skill as well. Like, did you do any of this stuff in college or like growing up? Was this purely just like a passion growth and just being involved with since COVID?
This was purely a passion project. I took all of my experience that I took from just being a Twitch streamer for about like 4 or 5 years plus doing this and being from streaming my competitive side. Had a brief competitive pro gamer stint in Magic during like the peak COVID arena days. And so I took all my knowledge that I knew from that and I just took it into production, and I took all the stuff that I saw from like SCG cons from way back in the day, took all my knowledge that I saw from like GPs back in the day and pro tours, and I just went, I can do a better product than what they're doing with less resources.
Mm-hmm.
And if I can do a better product at this, why can't they? I remember a huge thing I saw was like one of like I think it was like the MPL, the Magic Pro League that they had, and just the pros were using this weird overlay that like covered like 30% of the overlay was just covered with like blank space, negative space, not being utilized. I'm like, why do we have this? I can do better than this. This is a officially broadcasted thing. I have no budget. I can do better than this. And then I put my money where my mouth is.
You're right that I think sometimes the experience is not like thought out. Like people will go, oh, we'll just dump this here, and there's unnecessary space taken up where actually people could utilize it in a better way or plan stuff out separately. That was definitely the downside of early esports type of stuff, and also early content stuff on the internet. But things got a lot better. The coverage really helps like bring events to life. But when you
really do,
for you, like the kit, we'll go to the kit, and we're both on our fancy mics, right? We're both connoisseurs of making sure that this is done right. If someone was starting
100%.
out with this tomorrow in their own LGS, just together, where do they need to start? What's the sort of the fundamentals that people want to be thinking about?
The bare minimum is you need to have like a stable internet connection. That's like the bare minimum. You could have put out a good product if the product can't be viewed. And then after that, like you could do what I did, which is streaming it off your phone and just do bare minimum stuff from there. And then if you want to go even further, there's some cheap like rigs that you can put out there that can give you top down looks, and you can just use like a regular web camera that I still use to this day for a lot of the stuff that I use for coverage. I think I have like 3 different quality of web cameras that I use for coverage, and we just upgrade from there. So you can get on a budget, especially if you're a streamer. Like every streamer has like a webcam, maybe 2 or 3 if you're like me and you just like gather random stuff as you upgrade, as you keep going on. But the bottom line is that you need to have like a stable internet connection. You either do that off a phone, and then after that, you need to have a good processing, either a computer or a laptop that can handle the workload.
Yeah, something that I concur with. And if you want to get into content and recording it, if the internet isn't there, don't start. Don't stream. A lot of people consume the stuff via YouTube. The streaming world for this stuff is kind of like hit or miss. Like you might hit the right amount of people, the right amount of time. You kind of need, like if any kind of stream, you need to be regular. So like if you are like only 100%. if you only turn up to locals every 2 weeks, then you're not really a regular stream and stuff like that. If you do just record, you get that opportunity then, yes, to do a little bit of editing afterwards, do a little bit of overlaying, a little bit of card pop-ups. Don't have to go crazy on cameras. Like, your webcam that you're using. Almost anyone who exists on the internet right now has at least probably a C920, like the good old classic Logitech C920. If you told me today I had to put on a stream and that's the only camera I could have, that's probably the one bit of kit that I would just go, oh, okay then. Whereas I'd be really picky over my mics, really picky over my lighting, like say really picky over making sure I have internet. With all of those other things combined, just a solid camera will do the job. And yeah, your 100%. Phone, like if you can just get it rigged properly, as direct over the gameplay as you possibly can, really is all you need to start with, isn't it?
Phone cameras are like wildly good quality these days. Like you can get away with so much with a phone these days. You won't get like all the bells and whistles you can, but like phone quality is like out of this world.
Yeah, I have noticed the vlog world of people as well. So like with riftbound kicking off and a lot of the, so we say like mainstream content influencers kind of go, oh God, card games are fun. I'm really going to go to my LGS. I've noticed like so many vlogs being done on like iPhone 17s and things like that, where I'm like,
oh yeah.
Yeah, like you just don't necessarily need to be taking the mini DSLR around for this kind of stuff anymore. Just a little secret DJI mic some hidden somewhere, and like you're golden as far as that's concerned.
You get like a low quality like lav mic, and you're like even good to go there. Plug it into the
Yeah.
phone, and then it'll record your audio, and it'll record the whole table.
Yeah, no, for sure. That is like anybody who's like starting out, but like the growth that you need to get before you're sort of talking to even beyond, should we just say, like the bronze tier. One definitely thing we can both say, and we both know from experience, is that to even get these things off the ground, you gotta there will eventually be a bit of investment. And like the cameras, there's so many other things that need to go with this. If you had to detail down the top 10 things in your rig right now, just to, as a bare minimum, have to be there, what have we got?
Like top 10 as like, so I need my computer, I need the whole overhead rig, I need the cameras, I need half decent lighting, I need the internet, I need the software in order to do my job, I need the graphics that I need to do, I need the animations and the software, and I can go on. Like there's like 15 other things I can list off.
Hang on, so you don't just rock up and turn on a plug and start. No, like you put some preparation.
I wish it was that easy. But the flip side of this is this job is great because because of this, it's card game, so you meet so many people. So the flip side is I get to poke my friends I've met through this card game, like, hey, are you a programmer? Let me throw money at you and you can make a cool thing for me. Are you an artist? Let me throw money at you. Make a cool thing for me.
It's amazing how, well, I say it's amazing. It kind of comes with the territory. We're in a gaming space where most of us are nerds. Like you tend to find people who have nerdy actual day jobs. And then they seem to be a little bit more open to help. The moment this is something that you can pay them for, or you can at least give them compensation in kind with, like you do, people being passionate, people being invested, they can kind of like go, I know what you're after. I know how to help and I know how to get involved. You threw a few things out there. There's the internet we've already touched on. Events need internet, and that doesn't just mean the free Wi-Fi, which comes with if you give your email address. We are talking, number one, the connection into your device. You can't just get away with Wi-Fi. You need wired connection, and you need something that is going to like have, it's almost like dedicated connection. It's going to be able to stay stable for the whole time. Because the moment you lose Twitch chat for more than 2 minutes to 3 minutes, the whole event may as well not even start again, isn't it?
You lose like 80%. I want to say like 60% of the viewers the moment that you go down like 5 seconds.
Yeah,
everyone will just skip out and go to the next one.
Yeah, it's crazy. And a lot of people don't actually realize, at least here in the UK, we're still probably not in the top 10% of internet quality places in the world, despite being one of the richest. Recently been scouting out a venue for an event I'm hoping to host in the new year. One of the prerequisites I have, though, is I want to put on a really great show and a really great stream. The location was fantastic. The place was fantastic. The internet was available, was 12 up and 7 down. I was like, and that's not gigabytes. That's not gigabytes.
No, that's megabytes. No, that's megabytes.
And it just shocked me. It really did shock me. So saw it for my own eyes, and I was like, okay, I'll let you know via email. Which that email was very direct and to the point. And if you are a venue in Cardiff and you have internet that's a little bit faster, well, quite a lot bit faster actually, get your deckoutpod@gmail.com, drop us a message. We could probably work with you. But that's where the starting is. Lighting is probably up there. What's a couple of your bigger tips on sort of like how to be ready for whatever lighting throws at you when we go to all these different venues?
So I'm a big proponent of using natural light or just venue light. So the biggest thing I want to do is I want to minimize glare. So I always try to make sure that I have some umbrellas on by and stands that I can do. And then on setup day, I'll be cussing and swearing for about 4 hours as I try to get the umbrellas in the correct spot to minimize glare. But once I do and I'm happy with that, then I have the perfect thing. There's no glare or minimal glare and everything looks great. But you need to have something in place. Otherwise, if your table set up in like the wrong part of the venue, like directly underneath some lighting, then you're SOL.
100%. And first-hand experience of this. Like I was part of the production team going to look after the Grand Archive European Champs, and we came armed with lights. As I made in mind, we're in the UK. We traveled to Prague, Czech Republic, so we did all the shipping stuff happening. We didn't come armed with umbrellas, and what we needed was a tarpaulin, like umbrella over the top, because it was a wonderful, beautiful day. It was the start of the heat wave here in Europe, like, so the lighting was coming in, but we had like this strip light like straight across the top, and like the
Oh
thing is
no.
but the thing is you're there, right, and you're watching chat, and like the pace has got to continue. Like there's things that are there. You've got your 4K camera, like it's totally fine that is, but the lighting is just
It's
killing
just
the
eating
glare.
you alive.
Especially this is a Japanese stock card game, right? So we're talking foiling, we're talking big foiling. So it was some of the hottest of fixes that we've ever done, like angle moving. By the time we got to the end of day one, day two, and with a little bit of magic, we got there to acceptability. But yeah, definitely something that we always have to fight with. I learned about your umbrella tricks actually via your socials over on X. I was like, one day I remember seeing the posting and going, that's how it's always good, because you just had these great big umbrellas. And I was like, yeah, that's also the smarter way to do it, because I've got the lights, I've got like the battery powered ones as well. I was like, yeah, that also needs to be in like the arsenal, like in the cabin to go with you as well.
It's so funny because like even then, like I'm kind of like I don't want to say like janking, but I'm doing my best to make sure that these things stay up and being like I'm like tightening them up. I'm like, please stay. I need you to stay. I need this lighting to like not ruin my day. Please don't fall.
Yeah, we've kind of
But
like
it works,
gone.
and no one knows.
We've gone straight to the expensive stuff in our armory, but I think that one of the things that we absolutely couldn't live without is gaffer tape and just luck. Like, I think sometimes these are the things that, like, you just figure it out on the fly, don't you?
The amount of gaff tape I've used to hook up stuff and make patch stuff is unrelenting.
It's like the cable needs to go over there, like across this crowd. I am gaffer taping for miles. I am making this happen, because the good old duct tape fixes everything like line is just
100%.
unbelievably true when it comes to what we do, where we come into. And yeah, people don't actually give credit for like how, like, device power and also camera power. And this is one thing which is when you start seeing people who are trying to put these events together, trying to put them together sometimes on a budget, sometimes you're one person, two person like setup. You'll also usually got to remember that this is people getting to the venue like remotely. So sometimes you'll be able to take a tower, but most of the time people are trying to live off laptops. Cameras like to take up USB lanes. I think that's one of the things that people don't realize when it comes to powering is the jigsaw puzzle that is making three webcams work over like two USBs sometimes. Like, oh, this one will plug into this one, or this one's with this one. It's a funny conundrum.
I think I have like one USB splitter that splits into like four others. I have to be really careful what cameras go into that, because if I put too many, because I usually use like Brios for my stuff. If I put two Brios into that thing, it's going to overload the entire thing. So then I have to like adjust and move things over. Be like, all right, the Stream Deck goes here. The one Brio will go in. The mouse will go in. The keyboard will go in, and the other Brio will go in here. The lesser camera will go in the other one. It's fine. It'll all work. I need another USB extender, and hopefully that one won't overload this port. It's like, ugh. There's so many things I want to do, and I just don't have enough USB spots to do them.
Yes, exactly. Unlimited laptops, unlimited USB spots. It's like I've considered buying a brand new laptop at some point just to go, can I have the third USB-C? Like, it's just because you just like, this will solve. You don't know if it'll solve your problem, but you just want it.
I would love the USB-C. I use that for a lav mic so that I can hear the player tables.
Exactly. Oh, there's so much.
So that spot's all taken up. I can't even use that for camera. I've considered like pitching to Face, be like, hey, do we want to like invest in like a micro like desktop that we can bring to events just so I can have more power to power everything?
Hey, that sounds like a edge of the market that we need to hit up a new. If this ever falls across a news field, like help us with the solutions. You are the goat at it. We need to we need to get there. Not as long as it's not too many dollar bills, we can definitely give it a go. We as we would have expected have nerded out here for the first 20 minutes, but the big reason we're involved obviously is to spread coverage, right? And we love that. We love our card games. Obviously, you call yourself an ex-pro, and I'll pretend I'm an attempted grinder. We love playing the games, but we also love knowing that other people can get to see them.
100%.
I want to ask about the feelings about competitive play and constructive play in like the Canadian space. We've obviously had a couple of people on stream from Canada who tell us it's great. There's like great places to play. How is standard modern pauper? What is like the general thing? Because I can tell you one thing about the UK. Commander does get quite a lot of focus.
It's the same over here. Commander gets a lot of the focus. Standard doesn't get much focus outside of RC events. Modern is the biggest thing here in Canada. Modern gets the most amount of people coming to play events. Standard is very much less so. Pioneer, you can laugh. Which is very sad for me because I spent like 2 to 3 years being, and I still can, basically I can consider myself being like one of the top 3 like Rakdos sacrifice players in Pioneer because I spent so long making that deck good. And then that format just kind of died, and I'm sitting and be like, oh.
Honestly,
if the tournament pops up, I'll play.
I think there's like the little bit in everyone that they would happily give one last ride to Pioneer. Like if we almost all, I think everyone almost has accepted it's like passing, but we want one last spotlight or something. And then because we all want to do, I definitely want to get the Grease Fang. I've got a folder back here, which is ultimately was when I started collecting bad art Grease Fang cards. So I've got the dump trucks from the Parhelions. I've got the OTJ Secret Lair cards, and
Hell yeah.
I just want to jam turn 3 Grease Fang, do a bunch of Angels one more time outside of the Magic Arena streets. I really, really do. Similar vibe and feeling. And obviously, one thing we obviously had to step back in the UK from was we used to have Axion now, who did a lot of events, and that's that's what we started doing some coverage for. And Commanders, should we just say, like, dominance meant that they just took a step back in 2026, sorry, and we look like we're heading towards 2027. They've not taken a step forward again. And it's really great to see that at least face to face have still got the tours running, still got the attendances up, and they don't seem to be falling by the wayside in the same way it has over here. And my main question was, do you think the coverage really helps towards that, so people can at least know it's happening and like interact with all the storylines?
The coverage definitely does help. I do my best that I can like add storylines, and I talk to my casters a lot about which players are doing really well right now. The competitive side has taken a hit. I know FaZe has changed its payout / tournament structure for some of the more constructive events, but we're still able to get like a good consistent amount of like 32 to 64 players per location wherever face to face is popping up, which is really good considering how some of the places are just like, sometimes you'll be lucky to get like 16 players, and a lot of times you'll get like 32 just because they'll put on events. I think their structure right now is like you're basically playing for just entries into the RC, which I think is fine.
Yeah, there was a bit of discourse around that. There's definitely a Twitter user who hits my timeline who is like, oh my God, I'm going to pay $15 and not get anything. And it was pretty much an instant backlash in the comments. It was just like, yeah, that's like fine. I'm here to qualify. I'm all good. I'm all good. I'd rather this than...
It's like dirt cheap entry for you're playing for just the invite. And everyone's like, I'm kind of missed the pricing, but also like that's what I was playing for anyway. So
yeah, like, and also like holding a bit of the tournament organizer side on me. That in the UK, our events are run by Fanfinity over in Europe, so there's a certain like cost to entry. And my understanding, without necessarily having this verified by specific stores in America, I think Canada would have a different one again, is that We pay significantly more over here to run like that RCQ format. We pay like $150 for one entry. So £150,
Yeah.
which would be 190 US dollars, for like one event. So like a one slotter effectively. So, which is, from what I understand, or at least the rumors tell me, is quite significantly higher than what some of the WPNs pay in the United States.
Yeah. The States, for one weird reason, have like, I don't want to say a monopoly, but they like, for weirdly, their kits are so dirt cheap. Here in Canada, our kits are like around the same as yours. And if you want to get like anything that gives it like more than one invite, you're paying like $200 Canadian, I'm looking at right now.
Yeah, for sure. If you want to build it, just make it a bit more affordable. I don't think people don't want to play, but like you say, like they actually ironically like, oh, maybe I'll just come out and play for $15, was actually an open place for people. Definitely food for thought for the people upstairs. Like we're not seeing a lack of passion. We're not necessarily seeing a lack of want, but we are necessarily seeing people are just either choosing to stay online or stay away. The card price thing, I think, is a old hat. Like if you're in the game, you're in the game. If you're not in the game, there's definitely a cost to entry, which
Yeah. You're used to the prices if you're in this game already. If you're competing, you're used to be like, all right, I'm spending $400 on Badger Moles anyway.
Exactly. But if we're going to talk about competing, though, and face-to-faces, events that they're running, there's been a development. It certainly has in the space. And obviously this weekend, the Ottawa face-to-face event is just wrapping up as we're filming this.
Oh, yeah.
That's been quite popular.
It sold out. I am not shocked in the slightest. I knew it was going to sell out. They put that out and like 50 spots got sold instantly with like barely any info. I was not surprised in the slightest.
Yeah. We're talking about riftbound. We're talking about, obviously, it's literally taking over the space and taking over, should we just say, a lot of the eyes in relation to 1v1 competitive play. I think, at least from my perspective, and I think from my perspective, I think it's because of a lot of things being done right. Not people clamoring for wanting an alternative. There's a game that's really fun, really deep, really interactive. But then also they seem to have got the balance right in the card pool, in respect of like a booster price is quite balanced, and also in those boosters you can hit absolute mega hits, which are going to like change your life. Not change your life. Well, I say change your life. I've seen some of the prices on these Aries, like it is there. But from a community perspective, like it's really been championed to like get involved in this game in a 1v1 way, and play, and play for glory, even if that glory is, as we saw Grenton the judge take Vi this weekend, with a side quest of I'm going to be the best Vi, and they were. So congrats to you, Grenton. And it adds an extra story and the extra and the extra sort of buzz of, can a certain deck be good? Well, because there's an incentive for someone to try, they do. And from a coverage perspective, that's something I'm really excited to do in the future. And I obviously don't know about the same.
That. I absolutely love the whole best of thing. It adds such an additional layer onto things, being like, hey, I'm not just here just to do well in this tournament. I'm playing here to do well with this specific champion that I love. Like,
Yeah.
League of Legends has been around for like, what, over 10 years now, almost 20 years soon, in like a couple years. And sitting here being like, hey, I've played this champion in another game and it's here in physical card form. I'm going to do the best I can with this because I have an emotional attachment to this. And I love that. You can make infinite storylines on that.
It's excellent. And do you know what? A lot of people, like a lot of the initial things about, they've just obviously rotated out the Origins legends from the award. I think it's added an even better wrinkle to like decision making over what you're playing. So, we see the day one meta. We're definitely still seeing original Master Yi. We're still seeing Aurelia. Obviously Aurelia's from set 2, but Master Yi, you just can't get any extra wins for it. You're just trying to win the thing. And it's really put an extra bit of depth into like what you play, where'd you play. And I think this, from a lean into cover, the idea of coverage and the kind of storylines we can tell, that makes it so much more interactive, so much more interesting for the casters as well, when they can kind of like really bring out how much emotion is on the line.
100%. 100%.
You've been playing as well? You been get in the
I've
streets
been
and get to Nexus nights?
I have been playing Riftbound since it came out. I came out as a Victor gamer, and then LeBlanc came out. And shocking absolutely no one, I play the Sacrifice deck that takes game actions.
Wow, some kind of transition there. Hey, the Greaseland guy.
Everyone's like, "Hey, what deck are you playing?" The Death Effect, the Death deck.
and the Grease fan guy currently has Jace Aurora sitting on his deck. What a surprise! What a surprise!
Who's shocked?
Yeah, absolutely. I'm obviously having a lot of fun with the game, and so these videos starting to pop up on the channel now, with the Nexus Night adventures, so to speak. Yeah, I got to ask the question. Obviously, you are the face-to-face guy, and obviously this is a face-to-face event. And will we be seeing you do these in the future? Do you think?
Hopefully. I was originally planning to do this. Unfortunately, things fell through and we weren't able to do it for this week. But I was told that if any events happen in the future, that I should be the go-to guy to do them. So I'm hoping that me and my team are able to do it in the future. We had a lot of things prepared for this event, and I'm really sad we weren't able to put it to life. But I hope in the future that I'm able to put it out there and like put on a even better show than I do for Magic, because I know so many people in the scene that are very passionate about this game that want to put a good product. I got a buddy of mine who just finished animation school, and I was like, "Hey, I know you want to work for Riot. Make a bunch of animations for me, and then I'll put that on stream, and you will be front center. And then we can see if we can get that as an in for you for Riot." And I have another buddy who's a programmer. I'm like, "Hey, I know you're a programmer. You're looking for work. Do work for me and add that to your resume, because I'm going to be putting that on the front page of Twitch, and it's going to get views, and it will put your work on the front page."
Yeah, exactly. Like I make no secret about being involved in content here. People think, oh, like why do you do this? Like my literal day job is I look after content for like training and development, and it's sort of all crosses over. And I'll always say to people when like they either work with me or they're around me, I'll be like, do you want to go speak to so and so's over here? Like I know they've got jobs, and I know they need people who've got talent, and what we talk about earlier about like obviously people in this space are all around the tech space. If you want to get into it, use your passion as a springboard, and it definitely is in what is a horrendous job market worldwide. Like if you can showcase your talents before you even have to try and get a job, like it definitely really adds to things as well. And just on the note, social media was literally asking for it, and I really hope obviously that is we'll see it towards the next events. So we've had a bit of a chat before, and I've seen and understand the passion that's got into the Riftbound coverage that you will be able to do. And it sometimes happens this way. The event doesn't come to fruition.
I was really sad I couldn't do it. I was looking forward to it. I wanted to do it because I'm still passionate about this game. Like I just want to be like, let me stream it. Let me bring these storylines to life.
Exactly. And we've seen one heck of a storyline. I think if we just double check, if I just refresh my Twitter, I think we believe we've seen Prismat win, I think is what I've seen.
Did Priz win?
Let me just scroll down to
Priz won. That's insane.
They definitely hit the finals. Somebody did try and stream the finals, but because they only were on their phone and they only had 80 subs, they could not have more than 50 live viewers, which was a bit sad and disappointing. That would have been great. But Mike Cardfellow, like fair play to you, Mike, for at least for his studio. Yeah, Mike did. Yeah, Prismaticism did win on Rengar. So that's
Let's go.
I can't wait to see all of the Rengar percentages jump up and people just not be able to pilot it. So it'll be interesting to see how that happens over the next few days. But yeah, this is what I'm loving about this game. It kind of like resonates me a little bit of early 2000s. You're not too old enough to know this, but early 2000s poker boom. Now, when tournament poker first sort of got really popular, there was a lot of really big names. There's a guy called Daniel Negreanu, Phil Ivey. Those names always seem to be in the conversation, and you were always like, how is it possible? 4,000, 5,000 people fields every third event. I see you at the top tables, and it's just that extra little bit of next level. added to a game where you could just enter tomorrow and be ready to play with $15 from your local card store. Same with poker. If you just had
100%.
if you just had 50 bucks to put into an event, you could just join it. You could just play, you could just get involved. But to be really great at the game, you could put in the hours, you could put in the work, and you could take home the result that these top players are doing. And I'm the storylines, the passion. We just love the coverage. I think that's sort of the bit that resonates.
So terrified when like the tier 1 players from other card games enter this space and just start taking over. Like we have some really good players right now, but like when we get other players getting into this game, like I'm not scared, but I'm scared like in a good way. Like because like they're like kind of cracked at card games, so when they come in this game, they're gonna come in steamrolling.
I could definitely lift the lid a little on some European Magic grinders who will be at RQ Barcelona. I gotta watch what I say, but what I will say is there's some really big names who
Isn't like Arnie and like Andre Stratsky going to be going there?
Oh, you took it out of my mouth. Yeah, the boys are prepped.
Listen, I just saw it on Twitter.
Hey, actually, what am I kidding? They're not keeping a secret. There is
no, they're not.
There is some hardcore testing happening amongst the what I call top tier Hall of Famers who are in on this game because they're like, it's great to compete in, it's great to play, and it's a really good place to be around. So yeah, kudos to riftbound, everything that they're doing and everything that's all around it. So yeah.
Talking on that point, have you been to an RQ yet?
Not been to an RQ, no. It's
have you been to old GPs?
Being told I was a COVID gamer for Magic. So prior to COVID, I was just in Hearthstone, just being like in my early 30s with like a kids and just like this is the best I can do. And yeah, like and COVID hit in, and then we going, I really understand card games now. I'm really ready to go. And then coming out the back end and going, where's the GPs gone? I was so stoked when Spotlights came back. I was day 2 Spotlight London recently, which was obviously like just a great time, great event. And I've been told that they kind of what they were like, but not as good.
A little bit of Amy, but I do enjoy the fact the RQs do resonate with the like old GP style where we're all there to play in the big tournament. There's a couple side events, there's some vendors, that's it. Like some people want a big festival thing. I'm saying like, no, I'm here to compete. We're all here to compete. And there's some other events that are worthwhile, and that's it. That's all I want out of bigger events.
Yeah.
I don't want this big old festival feel.
Yeah, we have a perfect place in Europe, and it's called Prague. Prague is right in the smart middle of Europe, right? It's almost as if like somebody just in relation to middle of America geography, it'd almost be if like just where the Michigan lakes are, someone put an event center and just like basically gave a perfect the airport arrives, it's a 30-minute taxi drive. There's about 5,000 hotel rooms within about a 10-minute walk. And you just go in. It's a big hangar. There's 2 things here, right? It's a big hangar with a fest where you can play card games, and there's a Titanic museum. Like,
fuck yeah.
Prague is landlocked, Samsung. Prague is landlocked, and they have the Titanic museum. So like,
I love
the
that.
logic. I don't get it, but it works, right?
Listen, it doesn't have to make sense. It works. Makes money. Don't care.
But this is it's just a big straight up hall. You can have multiple events. So recently we had the world's first call in there. We had the Star Wars season 1 and we had the Grand Archive all at the same time. All just like just card gaming, just vendors. Got the old Ziggy world's first t-shirt on from the event. Just all done so well. These events are all just brought to life by having coverage going as well. And would love you being on the grind there over in Canada, and anyone obviously wants to know what's going on. Make sure you're following all your socials to sort of understand like where they can find the VODs. They can get tips and get a little bit of tips and tricks there. Again, I see obviously you drop some knowledge and get it. We both would encourage. We would love to see more people in this space doing more things, innovating, making things cool. We can't think out the new cool thing enough. We would need more people doing more things so we can share and moving around each other so we can provide really good storylines.
Like a thing I did that I realized that I brought back is I brought back the tournament cam. Because when I started doing coverage, I loved the overhead cam of just the camera that looks at the tournament field of all the players doing all this stuff. I'm the one who did that in Canada. And then I slowly saw SCG do it. And then I slowly saw the Pro Tour start adapting it. I'm like, oh, hey, look, this is a good idea. Put some ads over on the left side. Everyone loves seeing just the players and the hustle and bustle around because it makes it look like, hey, this is a big tournament. There are people here. The hustle bustle is real.
Yeah, the
And more
graphic,
people need to do more things.
actually being the amount of group chats I've seen over the last year or so, which I'm in with like competitive players and stuff, when they're caught on camera on that in between, that shows and encapsulates exactly what's on the floor. We've had the odds butt scratch from one of the guys as well, where it's just like caught on camera, buddy. But like this is what it's all about. Like it's still about the
It's about the
gathering.
gathering. It's about everyone being together.
Yeah, whether it's Magic, Riftbound, Flesh and Blood, there's all of this stuff, and obviously the casters who bring it to life as well. Like we haven't obviously mentioned too much about them, and half of the reason why I think obviously the recent boom has helped us is see Discord, pretty much primarily
Discord has been insane.
it's allowed it. It's allowed to be able to bring just straight up coverage to life with like really top tier people be able to plug in from all around the world. Got any like thoughts or tips you'd want to give?
So easy.
Yeah, like any thoughts or tips you'd want to give out there for people who are thinking about starting casting to get involved with people like me and you who are just pulling these events on?
My biggest thing I've found whenever I bring someone on is one, try to have a half decent microphone or interface that's like a clear interface that you can do. Like you and me, we have like our studios and everything and our good microphones all set up. But just make sure you have a good space so that your voice can be clear. But getting used to figuring out how to, if you're a color commentator or an analyst or if you're something, and figuring out exactly what you specialize in, do some test runs with yourself. Record yourself just like shoutcasting a VOD. See what you can do and how you can improve it from what the casters are currently doing right now. How much you can be different from that. What casters don't catch? What can you catch? What's something that you can bring to the table that someone else can't? That's one of my favorite things of doing was whenever I'm bringing someone in new, I'd be like, all right, what can you do? What's different that I can't get from Mason? What I can't get from Julian Carr? What's something different I can't get from Dom Harvey? Unironically, do you have an accent? Because that sometimes matters.
Correct. Yeah. So sometimes your accent could be too strong. Sometimes your accent could be the endearing part of what you're being brought in to do, right?
I've unironically gotten like more and less views depending on if one of my casters has an accent. It's very funny.
It is the way, and we'll just echo a lot of these places. If you reach out, we'll at least give permission in relation to transforming content. Obviously, we would not sit here saying like just like rip off streams and things like that, because obviously a lot of people put a lot of time and a lot of passion in. But if you're looking to break down a core play and you want to sort of interject between some of the content, reach out to the original person. They're more than willing not only to necessarily usually to like let you use it, but also potentially give you some extra insight. And it's definitely then opens up that space because it puts the eyeballs on you then, right? You want to be in that space. So if you ask the question, oh, hey, by the way, like I really love this game. Can I do a react video? It's going to be this long. They might even say to you, oh, could you do a shout out? We've got a new event that's happening. And obviously that's some of the stuff I've worked with Fanfinity. That's pretty much the only rules I've had is, hey, if you're gonna use the stuff, like give a plug to what's coming next, and also don't give a plug to a rival sponsor in relation to that. And ultimately, I think that's a great deal to be able to say, hey, I could use some professional level coverage to do a little cool YouTube video and effectively showcase your work, right? And so get out there, showcase your work, practice all your accents because you never know when you might need them. Know who you are. Like, I think that's something which when I look at events that I've done is I'm definitely there to keep the pace and keep the tempo. As far as like how clever that last play was, I leave that to Mason and people like him, right? Like they've got that down.
I've learned that I'm a great interviewer. I'm not a great commentator. So that's why I'm behind the screen doing all the production stuff. I'll take people like before the event, I'll take people and interview them. I'll let them chat. Imagine any card game player loves talking about their deck, loves explaining all the intricacies. And I love digging into that. And I'm really good at that. I'm not great at making people talk. So I get other people to do that. One thing that I had a buddy of mine, Michael Kritz, he wanted to do play by play. And I was like, hey, do you have much experience doing play by play? I was like, no. I'm like, all right, cool. I have a 5-minute long clip of a modern Storm player comboing off. Practice with this. And I just sent him the 5-minute clip, and he practiced and just went off being like, all right, the Storm player is doing this, this, this. And the Storm player is a fast player. So if you need experience doing play by play, doing that sort of thing, like that's how you can do stuff. If you want to be analytical, hey, I'll send you a screenshot of like a very technical play during one of the cover streams. Break down this board state. What's going on? So it's never hurts to just reach out and be like, hey, I want to get into this space, but I don't know exactly what. I'm like, all right, cool. So what do you want to do? Do you want to do play by play? Do you want to be the analyst player? Do you want to be the interviewer? Let's piggyback off each other. Let's springboard some ideas.
Yeah, exactly. Anything that we can all raise each other up from is always going to be there. We personally at different points were somewhere lower than the screen, and only time, grind, practice, some letdowns. I'll put that out there as well. I've been told no a lot more times than I've been told yes in this space. So you need to go out there and seek out those no's, because you won't get any yeses if you don't get any no's. So that's certainly somewhere where I would put people as well. But I think main takeaways from this episode we want to get together, so people just to know, this is an open space. This is something that you can get into if you have passion, you have love, and you really want to grind at it. Whatever the game is, you can be part of it as long as you just want to help it come alive. It's been great to chat to you on it, Samsung. And obviously, before we wrap it up,
Thank you for having me.
Do you want to point anyone in any directions? I've already pointed them towards your Twitter. Anywhere else in particular?
I don't stream that much these days, but if you want to, you can follow me on the line. I'm Sam71 on literally every single platform. I'm very consistent with all my stuff on Blue Sky, on Twitter, on Twitch, on Instagram even. I'm trying to put out more behind the scenes stuff on Instagram Reels sort of ordeals, and maybe put out some more stuff on the Twitter side. But I plan on doing some more online competitions on Twitch, and then hopefully put some more on behind the scenes stuff in terms of coverage on the Insta, and then all my thoughts and opinions that I just blurred out into the void on Twitter.
I love that. Honestly, on this episode, if you've watched it to the end and this has been really useful, we both will put this as an open line. We'll answer every single comment, and we just love to hear what people want to see about, because I think that's a part of why this even came about. We were like, look, people are passionate for it. Yeah, we kind of missed this time. You know, we can't wait for the next events to come around and for Samsung to be a full part of it. And hey, you're in the UK. Hopefully we'll get something soon. Keep your ears to the ground for when we'll see our first showdown. But thank you for being with me today.
Hell yeah.
And I can't wait to see. Maybe we should jam a LeBlanc versus Aurora Mirror at some point as a follow-up.
Hell yeah, let's do it.
50 likes on the video.
I'm so
That'll
down.
be the next one.
Let's go.
Thanks, man. See you later.
Yeah.